Hello people, today we're going to talk about the Godfather series, movies and books. I'm going to talk about the movies, I'm going to talk about the books, then I'm going to talk about why they should make another movie and how to make that next movie. Because I think they can do it and do it right. I mean, I see movies like that, have been gone for a while and they bring it back and actually not that bad, Rocky Balboa would be a good example, They brought back Rocky, and, they did it right. Now, I think they can actually change it up a little bit, but it can still work. So, let's just go ahead and talk about stuff, and I'll get to that later. So, first here I have the movies. Nothing interesting, these aren't the super-duper restored editions or anything, but these are the movies, Each of them have a commentary by Francis Ford Coppola, and only the third one has a trailer, and only the second one is 2-disc. So here we got all the movies. They all match on the side, so it looks nice on your shelf. And yeah, these are classic movies. Part 1 and Part 2 caught Academy Awards. I actually like Part 3 the most. So, The Godfather, the book, the novel by Mario Puzo. Actually, one of the all-time best-selling novels in publishing history. Now, there are a couple of differences from the book and the movie, and a lot of the things that they didn't put in the first movie, they put in the second movie, Part 2. So, let's see. One big thing is Sonny's mistress, Lucy Mancini. She did not leave pregnant in the book. So, Vincent, from Part 3 in the movie, cannot exist in the book universe. Right? She was not pregnant by Sonny. So, Vincent cannot exist. Also, you learn a lot about Luca Brasi. He has this demonic past. You learn about his history and stuff like that. He was a bigger character in the book. There's also like a previous assassination attempt on Don Corleone. Al Capone was involved, and yeah, there's a couple differences from the book and the movie. And its sequel, The Sicilian, also by Mario Puzo. They actually made a movie about this, but they took away everything involved with the Corleone family. But the Corleone family was pretty big in this book. But it took place during the time that Michael was exiled into Sicily. So this took place during that time, when he was gone from the USA for a while. So there was a story, and he was involved, and the family was involved, and yeah. Actually, if they make a movie and do it like this, they could pull it off, We just have to see what happens. And here I have The Godfather Returns and The Godfather's Revenge. Now, the story from the movies take place inside these books. The movies, at least Part 1 and 2 anyway, are just a small part of a bigger story that happens to be here. The Godfather's Returns actually expands on Michael's services in World War II. So we learn how he learns some things about that, and we learn about Fredo's secret life. Spoiler alert, he's actually gay. So we learn about his backstory. There's just more Fredo backstory, okay? And we learn about how Sonny, how Fredo, how Tom Hagen all became a part of the family business. It's actually some pretty big stuff. So this book actually expands a lot on the whole story. And, it's a New York Times bestseller, and It's a cheap book, so pick it up if you haven't seen it. There's been rumors that they've been wanting to make this one into a movie, but they haven't done it. And of course, The Godfather's Revenge, which takes place after Part 2. Well, partially takes place after Part 2. But, you know, in between this movie, Part 2 and Part 3, there is a lot of years. You know, there's a lot of story that goes on. We're missing some information, you know. The first and the Part 2 and Part 3, there's a huge gap, you know, in time. And The Godfather's Revenge tells you about this one dude, Nick Garassi, who wants to take revenge on Michael Corleone for things. And we learn things like how Tom Hagen died. And, you know, he was absent from the third movie. We learn how he died in this in this book. And there's also, it brings back to Luca Brasi, you know. Tom Hagen was killed. He was drowned, actually. A dead baby alligator was wrapped up, kind of like the fish, you know, sleeping with the fishes. A dead alligator was wrapped up, and it had Tom Hagen's wallet in it. That's how he died. I should have said spoiler alert, but yeah, that's how Tom Hagen was killed. And, you know, there's other stuff goes on. But, yeah. Now, a movie. I'm wondering how X-Men First Class is going to be. It's going to come out this year. But I think I want it to be something like that. It takes place in the same universe, but all the actors are different. But, you know, we learn a big story about it. I think they can actually pull something like that. Or young Indiana Jones to the actual Indiana Jones. You know, if you don't watch it, it's okay. And if you don't like it, it really doesn't hurt the main story. It doesn't hurt the 4 movies, you know? It doesn't make the 4 movies any bad or anything. But, you know, young Indiana Jones is a good story. It's a good example of that. And X-Men First Class. Another thing is like the James Bond movies. You know, you can change the actors every 5 movies. Change the story, and it doesn't hurt the overall series, you know? I think they should do something like that when it comes to the Godfather movies. They can have a story within a story, you know? It could be the Godfather's Revenge, it could be the Sicilian. But it would be nice just to have another movie that takes place in the same universe and to make it right, you know? Francis Ford Coppola's got to do it, of course. Or at least be involved in it somehow. Actually, there was supposed to be a 4th film. Mario Puzo was actually writing a 4th film, and a 4th story, and he died before he could finish it. It's pretty sad. At least that's what I heard. But yeah, I think they can actually pull off another Godfather movie. They don't have to. You know, if you don't make one, I'm fine with that. But you know, The Godfather is a mafia crime story that, you know, this next generation is not going to experience. And it's one of the big classics, and they should be brought back somehow, you know? So yeah, because people today, the next generation of people, of moviegoers, they watch The Godfather, and they're bored by it, you know? They're bored. And I think they can bring it back and actually make it appealing to the next audience. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, The Godfather did its run, you know, if that's how you want to take it. But, you know, I can see a movie where we can actually use Al Pacino come back, and he's, you know, sitting around with his kids, or he's writing a journal or something, and then we go back to flashbacks, and it could be a completely new person playing the characters, but Al Pacino's involved. It's like Star Trek, you know? Everyone, the entire cast of Star Trek has been recast, but you know what? Leonard Nimoy comes back, and it really doesn't matter, because now it's part of the history. It's kind of like that. I'm sure you get what I'm saying, right? They don't have to make it, but if they want to, I'll let them. and I'll support it, you know. But if it turns out bad, you know, not a you know, Hollywood. But yeah, I think we can actually do it. I think that's all I have to say. So yeah, Godfather series, yay! See you guys.